Hi, everybody. We talked about serverless observability, or how we like to call it, observeless. I will start with a disclaimer. My name is Erez Berkner. I'm the founder of a company called Lumigo, and basically this is my life for the last year, because we're building a platform doing serverless observability. So I'm very opinionated, but I love it, so hopefully you love it too. So we talked about what has changed. Why do we really care about serverless observability? Is it really that different from just observability? And we figured out that in serverless, you actually break your monolith into very small pieces. So at the end of the day, it becomes much harder to see the bigger picture, to understand the entire flow of all these moving parts, of all these tens or even hundreds of microservices. So this is an example of serverless application. So it's very hard to grasp. Where does it start? Where does it end? How does the flow looks like? So it's not really microservice. We call it nanoservice now. And this is one of the challenges of what makes serverless observability really different. The other thing we talked about is the fact that in serverless, you're no longer in charge. You're actually losing the control to somebody else, to a cloud vendor usually. So we started talking about what that means and how you should relate to that. So first of all, don't panic. Try to embrace the fact that you're not in charge. Try to figure out what you can and cannot have from the cloud vendor, from the one providing you the infrastructure. We talked about the fact that you can actually use serverless or function as a service to actually get more observability and get better testability of your environment. So we discussed the fact that you can use Lambdas, for example, to test your Lambdas. You can use Lambdas as kind of gatekeeper to your databases or gatekeeper to your other services. So you proxy everything through that Lambda, and then you have better observability per service. So figure out how to use serverless to create better observability. And at the end of the day, trying to trace the different requests without controlling the request, which is what's happening with serverless, becoming a real challenge. So how can you make sure the requests propagate throughout your different services and you can actually trace back? This is one of the challenges that serverless is different than regular microservices. So the call for action we reached is know your vendor, know your serverless environment, figure out, first of all, what your vendor provides you as output so you can get better observability. And on the other side, get demand from your vendor, demand from AWS, from Microsoft, from Google, the metrics that you think matters to get the observability. Thank you.